The last guest. The storm rolled in as the last rays of sunlight disappeared behind the hills of Hollow Creek. Wind howled through the trees, and rain began tapping at the windows of the Willowmere Inn, a place that hadn't seen a full guestbook in years. Inside, the fire crackled in the lounge, and 7 guests sat in high-backed chairs, sipping warm drinks and avoiding each other's eyes. It was supposed to be a retreat, a disconnect and rediscover weekend hosted by a mysterious travel club called the Haven Circle. All participants had been invited with full expenses paid, but none of them knew the others, or so they said. At precisely 7 p.m., the innkeeper, a tall woman with silver hair and a calm voice, entered the room. "My name is Eliza. Dinner is served in the next room. Phones and electronics will remain locked until Sunday. No exceptions." She paused. "And please remember, no one leaves the property until the retreat is over." Dinner was awkward. 7 strangers tried to make polite conversation, while ignoring the storm rattling the windows. There was Mira, a quiet librarian from Maine; Dr. Emery, a retired surgeon; Lila, a social media influencer, who complained about the Wi-Fi every 10 minutes; Theo, a shy young man with a nervous laugh; Daniel, an attorney who seemed to know too much about everyone; Vivian, a travel writer with a sharp tongue; and Colin, a jovial high school history teacher. They discussed books, travel, food, anything but why they were all there. After dessert, Eliza reappeared. "There's a game," she said with a faint smile. "A tradition for Haven Circle guests. One of you will be the secret, and the rest must figure out who. Clues are hidden. Lies are expected. Trust no one. Win, and you leave with a prize. Lose, and, well, let's just say you won't forget it." Everyone laughed nervously. Then the lights flickered and went out. The next morning, the guests awoke to an eerie silence, and one of them missing. Vivian's bed was empty. Her room showed signs of disturbance: a chair knocked over, her suitcase open, but no sign of her. Daniel immediately began asking questions, taking control. She wouldn't leave in the storm. Someone took her. Lila rolled her eyes. "It's probably part of the game." Mira shook her head. "No, this feels wrong." They searched the property. No footprints outside. No sign of forced entry. Eliza made tea in the kitchen as if nothing had happened. "The game has begun," she said calmly. 1 gone. 6 remain. By nightfall, tension had replaced politeness. Clues appeared, scraps of torn letters, a photo hidden in the fireplace, a key sewn into a pillow. They began accusing each other. Mira discovered Theo had lied about his name. His real name was Ethan, and he'd once been charged with computer fraud. Daniel revealed that Colin had once been under investigation for misconduct at his school. Charges dropped, but never forgotten. Lila found Dr. Emery's old license in the hallway. Expired but also fake. "No one here is who they say they are," Mira whispered. One by one, they unraveled each other's secrets. That night, Colin vanished. No sound, no struggle, just gone. Sunday morning, 4 left. Mira, Lila, Daniel, Theo. None of them trusted the others. "I think this is more than a game," Theo whispered to Mira as they stood by the old library. Daniel was listening, always listening. Lila snapped at everyone. "If this is some twisted social experiment, I'm suing everyone." That night, as thunder rumbled again, Daniel was found unconscious in the cellar. A note pinned to his chest read, "Justice for the innocent." He survived, but barely. On the final morning, Mira awoke to find a small black envelope under her door. Inside was a note. "You have watched. You have listened. Now choose who is the secret." She came down to the parlor where Eliza stood beside a polished wooden box. "Only one may guess," Eliza said. "Guess correctly, and you win. Guess wrong and the secret wins." Theo and Lila entered moments later. All 3 looked at each other. Mira stepped forward. She pointed at Eliza. "It's you. You orchestrated this. You're not the innkeeper. You're the secret." Eliza tilted her head. "Why do you think so?" "Because you never leave. Because you never seem surprised. Because you're not in the guest book. And because I saw your face in the photo we found, the one from the trial." Lila gasped. "What trial?" Eliza smiled. "Well done." She opened the box. Inside was a single photograph of Eliza in a courtroom next to Vivian, and Daniel, and Colin, and the others. 10 years ago, they had all been jurors. All but Mira. The case? The wrongful conviction of a woman named Eliza Camden. Framed, imprisoned, forgotten. Until now, one by one, she had brought them back. They had no idea who she was when they signed up. Only Mira the innocent had been chosen to observe, to judge. Your prize, Eliza said, handing her a small key, is the truth. Use it well. Mira stood frozen as Eliza disappeared into the storm. And behind her, the house locked itself shut. The end.
It's time to learn new words in context. Howled. Definition. Made a long, loud cry, often because of pain, sadness, or strong emotion. It can also refer to the sound made by animals like wolves. Example. The dog howled all night because it missed its owner. Haven. Definition. A safe or peaceful place where someone can rest or feel protected. Example. The small cottage by the lake became a haven from the busy city life. Jovial. Definition. Cheerful and full of good humor, friendly and happy. Example. The teacher had a jovial personality that made everyone feel welcome in class. Rattling. Definition. Making a series of short, sharp noises, often caused by something shaking or moving quickly. Example. The old truck drove down the road, its engine rattling loudly. Eerie. Definition. Strange and frightening, often in a quiet or mysterious way. Example. The abandoned house gave off an eerie feeling as we walked past it at night. Nightfall. Definition. The time of day when the sun goes down and night begins. Example. We had to hurry back to the campsite before nightfall. Unraveled. Definition. Came apart or became untangled. Can also mean to solve or explain something that was confusing. Example. She finally unraveled the mystery that had puzzled the town for years. Flickered. Definition. Shone or moved with a quick, unsteady light. Often used to describe candles, screens, or lights. Example. The candle flickered in the wind, casting moving shadows on the wall.
1. Comprehension Q&A for the last guest. 12 questions, each followed by its answer. 1. Where does the story take place at the beginning? Answer. At Willowmere Inn, a secluded countryside retreat. 2. How many guests are initially present at the inn? Answer. 7 guests. 3. What organization invited the guests to the retreat? Answer. A mysterious travel club called the Haven Circle. 4. What unusual rule does Eliza, the host, enforce at the retreat? Answer. No one is allowed to use electronics or leave the property until the retreat ends. 5. What unexpected event happens after the first dinner? Answer. The lights go out and the next morning, one of the guests, Vivian, is missing. 6. How do the guests respond to the disappearances? Answer. They grow increasingly suspicious, paranoid, and begin revealing secrets about each other. 7. What clues make Mira suspicious of Eliza? Answer. Eliza never seems surprised, isn't listed in the guest book, and appears in a photo connected to a past trial involving the other guests. 8. Who is revealed to be the secret? Answer. Eliza, the supposed innkeeper, is actually the secret. A wrongfully convicted woman seeking revenge. 9. Why does Eliza target the guests? Answer. They were all jurors who voted to convict her years ago, in a wrongful trial. 10. What role does Mira play in the retreat? Answer. She is the only one who was not a juror, and was chosen to observe and judge who the secret was. 11. What symbolic item does Eliza leave for Mira at the end? Answer. A key inside a box, symbolizing the truth and her escape from injustice. 12. How does the house respond after Eliza leaves? Answer. It locks itself shut, hinting at the lingering presence of the past, or perhaps something supernatural.